afternoon and thank you for joining us. My name is Ian Wafula. Now we begin with reactions over appointments made yesterday, and NACADA chairman John Mutudho has supported the appointments made by President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, saying that the move has filled in the missing link in the fight against illegal drugs and alcohol. Mutudho said cartels, lack of goodwill and poor enforcement of laws have hindered the fight against abuse of alcohol and drugs. He, however, insists that the only remaining department which needs to be cleaned is NACADA itself. He was speaking this morning in Nakuru.
We are winning now. It is going to be very simple and straight, because the problem in alcohol and drugs has been a matter of enforcement. It has been a matter of cartels. And now all the cartels who had their roots at Harambee House gone. Period. All cartels which had their roots at NSIS gone. All cartels who had their roots at the presidency gone. That leaves me with only cartels which are domiciled in NACADA itself. And those ones at NACADA, fortunately, the term of the CEO has come to an end on 4th of April. We already have two yellow cards. Some have red cards. It's time for them to take a go. It's time for you to go away and leave it, let it be.
And back in Garissa, residents of the area have been urged to volunteer information that will assist security agencies fight terrorism. Garissa Township Chief Mohammed Dagane said that the sensitization of Nyumba Kumi will go a long way in restoring security, adding that he had formed intelligence gathering units to identify strange individuals in his location. Chiefs were last week put on the notice, and those who fail to monitor and report criminal activities within their localities would be held responsible for any security breach in the areas of jurisdiction. It is now 2 weeks since the massacre of the 147 people of the Garissa University College by Al-Shabaab terrorists.
Hii mhalifu anaishi kwa nyumba, ile mtu mzuri anaishi kwa hiyo nyumba. Sasa ile location yangu yote, ile manyumba iko ndani yote ikihesabiwa ile mtu ako ndani. Kesho sasa kitu fulani ifanyike kwa plot ya Abdullahi, nafikiri jina yake iko kwa register. Kwa hivyo vile mimi naona hiyo Nyumba Kumi itasaidia kila kitu.
Wananchi hawajafahamu kwa Nyumba Kumi. Takana sensitization afanye na baraza mingi, watu afahamu Nyumba Kumi ni kitu gani. Nyumba Kumi ikifahamu inaweza leta usalama zaidi, na wanaweza jua nyumbani yako ngapi na jirani yako ngapi.
Also, pressure is mounting on the National Assembly Leader of Majority Aden Duale to surrender the list he promised to give all possible Al-Shabaab sympathizers. Kiambu Governor William Kabogo wants the government to take immediate action on Duale if he does not release the names. He was speaking during an award ceremony for 221 ICT graduate students in Kiambu County headquarters.
Now we need to be serious. Hatuwezi kuwa tukisema I will release the names of sympathizers or financiers of terrorism when Kenyans are dying. No, we have to say no now. Enough is enough. Tunachinjwa bwana kama mbuzi, na watu wanacheka kusema tutawataja wale ambao ni sympathizers. Say it now or shut up forever and we will deal with you. This is the end of this problem.
The week has seen intense debate on whether the country should go back to mandatory national youth service training for young people just before they join universities. So, what is driving this debate? KTN's Dorcas Wangira now takes a look at what NYS training was all about in the years after independence and what those pushing for it may be thinking today.
Uwezo. This is the National Youth Service we know today, relaunched as a way of connecting with and encouraging young people to seek vocation.
Kenyans expect even better from the reformed institution.
And true to its vision, the NYS has been committed to the unlimited opportunities for nation building. There are traces of today's NYS to the first NYS established by an Act of Parliament in 1964, a technical, disciplined and organized young human resource, fiercely involved in national development programs. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta had made it clear that our enemies were illiteracy, disease and poverty. In the early days of the Nyayo era, it was geared towards elevating youth unemployment, both in the formal and informal sectors. The trademark of the spade in hand instead of the rifle was symbolic of skill and disciplined manpower, something necessary for promoting national cohesion. The training was mandatory then for one joining university, those considered the best at Gilgil and Naivasha. But with the advent of 844 and in the 90s, NYS was never the same, and the country was facing greater challenges, political, social and economic.
The inaugural cadre is possibly now old enough to be the grandparents of the graduates who are before us. They have done their part to make Kenya better.
Even though the twin purposes remained, a vital nerve of the NYS was lost, slowly losing its luster. In the NARC era, the hunger for the youth to join the NYS waned. Enlistment was voluntary. And even though the nation had promise, the post-election violence of 2007-2008 was a clear indication that not much had been done to invest in young people. Today, NYS has grown bigger, but so have our issues as a country. Corruption at endemic levels, insecurity, and the lost sense of nationalism. Servicemen and servicewomen always participate in national parades and are a familiar sight in ceremonies where they act as crowd control, but they can neither form nor join a trade union. David Makali, a renowned political and media analyst, was trained at the NYS. He says the root of our problem is the lack of basics, discipline, socialization, ethics and national integration, values lost to us if not taught early.
It did not give me intellectual development, but it gave me aspects of personal discipline, self-discipline, skill, and endurance.
But should it be mandatory for everyone leaving high school?
The possibility of reintroducing mandatory NYS training before universities, but it's not a decision that has been made.
So to the extent that that component will be brought to be inculcated into those people about to get into university, I think is a great idea. Just the question would be, what will be the content of that training and how long will it last? Now, those who excel need to be really the best in any circumstance that they may find themselves in. Whether you are attacked by thugs or terrorists, or you have a traffic situation.
Going by history's evaluation, the NYS's original purpose is as important and necessary today as was 51 years ago. But the focus of the debate now is whether the NYS could better prepare Kenyan youth to defend themselves or escape from terrorists. Dorcas Wangira, KTN.
And to the coastal region now, an alleged racket involving recruitment of Kenyans seeking greener pastures in Gulf countries has yet again surfaced in the coastal city of Mombasa. Scores of unsuspecting residents came forward to lament a deal gone sour in the hands of recruitment agency operating in the town. KTN's Francis Ontomo has that report.
When Abdallah Halfan got news that he will land a new job as a security guard in Qatar, he did not think twice. The father of two jumped for the offer with gusto. However, regrettably, the offer became jaundiced. The man spearheading the overseas plans was later to be pronounced dead by his close associates, something that he is finding difficult to buy.
Aliniambia kuwa ako na visa za kwenda Qatar as a security officer. Kwa nikamtrust through my colleague ambaye ni broker, anikalipa hiyo pesa, lakini baadaye kumbe alikuwa ni muongo. Hakuwa na safari yote, ndio ikakuja kuwa ati amekuwa mgonjwa, amelazwa hospitali, then later on tukaambiwa amefariki, mwili hatukuonyeshwa na akazikwa hivyo kiholela holela.
Abdallah is just one among the over 200 allegedly exploited by the same man, one Suleiman Mohammed, operating under the guise of Chandarua Recruitment Agency. He allegedly made way with over 4 million Kenyan shillings just from the deal. At the Human Rights Agenda offices Mombasa, we meet up with scores who have undergone a similar ordeal.
Na wengine wameuza vitu vyao, wameuza wengine matuktuk, wengine kama sisi tumekopa ili tupate kuanza maisha, lakini mpaka sasa hivi pesa zetu zimedhulumiwa na wengine hatujui sasa hivi tunafanya nini.
This woman said to have played conveyor belt in the dealings as a broker nearly dragged herself into hot soup as she made all efforts to stay clear the racket.
Napeleka watu lakini mimi sichukui pesa nachukua yeye mwenyewe. Na yeye akituambia kwa mtu akiondoka atatupa sisi commission mpaka aondoke. Ambata huyo Kadara ashanilipa mimi commission ambaye mtu mwingine shampeleka kwake. Ananiambia ni maana mimi Sulaiman nilikuwa simjui, ni yeye Kadara ndio alinionyesha ofisi. Mimi si agent, ni broker, yani nikipata mtu napeleka na mimi nipate kitu tu, unaona?
Efforts to reach implicated agencies on phone went futile. Several warnings have been issued to Kenyans against rushing to pay monies to people claiming to be organizing jobs for them abroad. But just what exactly continues to lure unsuspecting Kenyans to Gulf countries?
Kitu ambacho wanavutiwa kule vijana, akiangalia pengine mshahara wa huku akifanya kazi, haezi akapata mshahara wa zaidi ya shilingi 15,000, lakini ataidiwa akifika kule atapata almost 40,000.
Human Rights Agenda is now mounting pressure for thorough investigations to be conducted, while at the same time calling for immediate inspection of recruitment agencies across the country.
It does not matter whether this old man died or not. For us, what we want to see is justice to these Kenyans.
Cases of exploitation by recruitment agencies have increased here in the coast region as many jobless Kenyans come out to take their chances. But the challenge now remains on the state to flush out such bodies. Francis Ontomwa, KTN, Mombasa.
Into Nyeri County now, where more than 300 women congregated yesterday to offer prayers for the Vice President William Ruto and his co-accused Joshua Sang. Pastor Martin Ngari said that the women decided to hold prayers for Ruto so that their cases would be terminated to allow him concentrate on his duties in the government. The women have been praying in Mount Kenya while fasting, and they hope that the ICC cases will end just like that of the presidents. Nakuru Woman Representative Mary Mbugua said that they were also praying for the country, which is facing numerous terror attacks. Mbugua urged Kenyans to support security agencies, saying that they were also human and were doing everything possible to restore order in the country.
Huu ni mpango wa Mungu, kwa sababu siku ya leo tunaombea hata nchi yetu na tunaombea mpaka deputy president pia, yeye tunaomba awe huru, kama vile tulikuwa tunajinyima president wetu pia kesi yake itoke ICC. Tumejinyima kukura, tumetoka kwa mlima, hata mnasikia vile naongea, tumemulilia Mungu. We want him also to be free.
Na hiyo kitu inaenda the whole of Mount Kenya region, kuombea naibu wetu wa rais na kuambia watu wetu, huyu naibu wa rais ndiye future yetu.
Aendelee akifanya kazi bila kesi yoyote. Hata huyu Mr. Sang ambaye ako huko Hague, hata naye tunamuombea, hata Mungu naye amkumbuke. Na tena kama vile tuliombea president wetu na kesi yake ikaisha, tunaamini ya kwamba sisi tukiwa Wakristo, sisi tukiwa wamama, kama vile mnaona wamama ni wengi sana wameketi na wametoka kaunti yote ya Nyeri, na ni wengi sana walisema leo hatutaenda shamba, hatutaenda sokoni, ni lazima tuende kwa maombi.
Still in Nyeri, preparations for the beatification of the late Catholic nun Irene Stefano are in top gear as the Catholic faithful from all over the world get ready for the event. The beatification is scheduled to take place in Nyeri from the 22nd till the 24th this year. Irene Stefano was fondly referred to as Sister Irene Nyatha by locals in Nyeri County, where she worked for 15 years from 1915 to 1930. Nyatha in Kikuyu language meant she who is full of mercy. The house where she used to live in Gikondi in Mukurweini constituency was yesterday excavated in preparations for the large event that will draw people from all over the world, especially Italy, where she hailed from. A few artifacts such as water gate valve and the two joint pieces of wood were found.
Missionaries settled when they came for the first time. This mission was established in 1903, and the sisters, Consolata missionary sisters and Consolata fathers, came together. I am told, we understand from the living witnesses, this is the exact position of the house, and even from the documentations that we got from Rome. It's one of our most important artifacts where pilgrims will be coming to see the exact position where sister was. This is where she died. The body was still moved from here and was transported to Madari for burial.
They told us that they needed landscaping, they needed to find the foundation, and we offered to come and do it. We've been here yesterday and today, and hopefully we will manage to do the landscaping and finding the foundation by the end of today.
Almost 1 month after its liberation from Al-Shabaab by AMISOM troops, the small island of Kudai, located 130 kilometers southwest of Kismayo in Somalia, is slowly coming to life. The mayor of the town, Kudia Ibrahim Abdullahi, says residents who had run away during the Al-Shabaab reign are slowly returning to their homes. According to AMISOM commanding officer Major Patrick Mutuku, more needs to be done to completely restore security to the area. The capture of Kudai came just 5 months after Somali government troops supported by AMISOM troops liberated the biggest stronghold of Al-Shabaab militants, Middle Shebel's port town of Barawe in October 2014.
We liberated Kudai on 22nd March 2015 in a concerted effort with the SNA, and on liberation the Al-Shabaab fled the town, and ever since the security situation has stabilized. We are continuing on with the pacification, and so far the locals are very happy.
Well, we are taking a short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be looking at our international news, including xenophobia in South Africa, which has shocked the world. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Let us cross borders a bit now. Anti-immigrant violence in South Africa has spread to the country's biggest city, Johannesburg. The attack started several days ago in Durban. At least 6 people have been killed and thousands of people have fled their homes. CNN's Diana Magne has the story.
Prepped for battle, these Zulu men make fierce enemies. And the police aren't taking chances.
Police have been firing rubber bullets. There is a crowd, South Africans, mostly Zulus from the hostel here. We've been gathering there, burning the shops around here. And there are foreigners, mostly Nigerians, at the other end of that road. They have
There, a crowd of anxious Nigerians argue with police. They're desperate to salvage their cars from a workshop stuck between the two sides. This South African man led away by police after he was found inside the workshop. This is what happened to a Nigerian-run car repair shop overnight. Livelihoods made over years of hard work, lost in a few hours. Daniel Izaki worked here. His job's now gone, and he's scared.
In the last few days, they fight people, they burn cars, they block the roads, and they told us foreigners that they're gonna kill us. We should go back to our country. Then they're trying to attack people. They throw bricks on us, and we are not safe.
For now, police are trying to make sure the two sides don't meet. But it's Friday. The men with jobs get paid today. The smell of beer is powerful. It could be a rough night.
Just one way.
Jean-Pierre Lukamba from the African Diaspora Forum is trying to mediate between the two sides. He says foreigners are scapegoats for broader economic grievances, which do have a legitimate basis.
They want to express themselves. They want the leaders, their government to pay attention to them, to listen to their grievances and so on, to their problems. But governments, after the election, they don't care about the community, especially the affected community, the poorest community in South Africa.
President Jacob Zuma says he's addressing those issues, as he promised to do everything possible to stop the attacks. But it's been about 8 years since xenophobic crowds killed more than 60 people across South Africa, and immigrants say they face daily harassment, and the culprits are rarely punished. They question whether these xenophobic attacks are a symptom of a more institutional hostility towards foreigners. Nationals from African countries who'd hoped South Africa would bring them peace and prosperity. Diana Magnay, CNN, Johannesburg.
Quite unfortunate pictures we're seeing there from South Africa. I hope that more will be done before more lives are lost. Now let's get into sports. Defending Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia will seek to extend their lead at the top of the log when they host Sofapaka in this Sunday's action-packed KTN Weekend. In other matches scheduled for the weekend, AFC Leopards host Ushuru FC while Western Stima play Tusker in Kisumu.
This weekend, the Kenya Premier League heads into week 8 with a host of teams looking to pick up maximum points from their opponents. After picking up a point against perennial arch rivals Gor Mahia and 3 more points against KCB, FC Leopards will seek to build up on their good run as they host Ushuru on Saturday at Nyayo National Stadium. Ushuru picked maximum points against Mathare United in midweek, will be looking to kick the Leopards as they seek to go up the log. KCB will be seeking to bounce back to winning ways as they play City Stars, a side that lies bottom of the league with only 1 point accumulated.
A little touch coming from Abondo. Ucha sets it up. Bolunga and Medica get it.
On Sunday, defending champions Gor Mahia take on 2009 champions Sofapaka in a match that is expected to be explosive at the City Stadium. Frank Natal's Chargers are yet to lose this season and will be banking on the impressive home form to topple Batoto Bamungu. In other matches planned for Sunday, second place Western Stima host Tusker FC, while Mathare United plays Sony Sugar at the Nyayo National Stadium. Robinson Okenye, KTN Sports.
As expected, anticipation is rife heading into today's Enterprise Cup final between KCB and Homeboys RFC. KCB, the Kenya Cup defending champions, are optimistic of a good outing, but against Homeboys' side that eliminated Pan-African Strathmore Leos, it will not be an easy ride.
Rugby enthusiasts in the country have high anticipation heading into this Saturday's Enterprise Cup final between KCB and Homeboys at the RFEA grounds. For the last 8 years, KCB, the recently crowned Kenya Cup champions, have not laid claim to the Enterprise Cup. After securing the league title, the Bunkers eliminated Impala in last weekend's semi-final tie and are bagging on to clinch another maiden trophy this season. Their assignment will, however, not be an easy one. They face Homeboys RFC, a side which is in the Enterprise Cup final for the first time in the history of the Cup. The DJs got to the final at the expense of Pan-African Strathmore Leos in a tie that went into the extra time and narrowly winning that match 15-13 after 100 minutes of the play. In order to achieve a victory, the DJs will need to overcome not so small matter of having never previously beaten KCB in the Kenya Cup or the Enterprise Cup action. The last time that KCB and Homeboys met was on the Kenya Cup match day 9, where KCB secured an important 41-5 victory.
That story brings us to a close this afternoon. Joy Derinbira will be joining you with Africa Speaks, discussing on matters xenophobia in South Africa. My name is Ian Wafula. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.